Hey sis, it's been quite a while since I have shared one of these messages, but I committed to doing these both when I had something to say and when I had the capacity to do it, to say it, so that not just being about making time, but my own emotional capacity and mental capacity and all of that. And I have had a season where I've needed to be a little more quiet. And today I have decided to share a message because I have both the capacity and something that I really want to share. We are approaching the Wells fourth anniversary, fourth birthday, in a couple weeks. And four is a number that is really about support and stability. It's about, sort of taking care of yourself, like rooting down in your life in all areas, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial health. And I think that over these last couple years, all of us have, whether we've done the work to take control and to root down and take care of ourselves in that way or not, we have certainly become more aware of a need to. And so it's, really symbolic and meaningful that this is our fourth birthday, fourth anniversary, as we are entering into a new phase, exiting the full on pandemic space and all that the last couple years have been a crazy couple years where we were just 1 year into our second year and thriving when the pandemic hit, and we had to make huge shifts and adjustments in how each of us individually shows up, but I'm speaking specifically about how the Well operated and showed up and continue to create and build community for and with Black women business owners. And so as we're entering into this fourth year in a couple weeks, I want to really focus on four and focus on this idea of taking care of self and bring you some questions, but also some thoughts and things to consider. So I'm mostly going to ask questions in this and ask that you, jot down some notes, journal about it, think about it, consider it, but also plan a way forward. So as we are headed into four, yay, super excited about that. I'm wondering, how are you showing up in, or I want to reflect that how you are showing up in your business is a mirror of how you are showing up in your life, right? And that is true for all of us. And so I want to ask the questions about if you have checked in on those 5 areas that I mentioned: your physical, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, and your physical, your financial health and wellness. And where are there opportunities? Do you know where you have given your priority? What has been the easier thing to focus on? And what areas you have let be neglected? And I want to posit that everything is not equally important all the time at the same time, but also ask, how are you deciding and prioritizing? Sometimes we can neglect something with intention for a moment, but when we have a plan around it, then we aren't just leaving it to its own devices, but we are prioritizing something else in that time, in that space. So what have you prioritized? How are you deciding to prioritize in those 5 areas? And are you neglecting with intention, with a plan to get to, and a true timeline in which you are implementing to get to those other areas that you may have not prioritized in your business and in you, because you are your business. Without you, that business does not exist. And that is not to say that we should be doing all the things in our business. That is to say that you must be and remain whole for your business to reflect wholeness out into the world. And so what are you neglecting? What have you been neglecting? How are you prioritizing and deciding what to focus on, what in those 5 areas: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial health and wellness, to give attention to? And another question is, are you just responding, right? Like, are you being truly intentional about the way in which you're showing up, or are you just responding to demands and requests? Because, again, there's a season for that too, but there's a time in which you have to, we each have to not just be responsive and reactive, but that we are proactive in how we move ourselves forward and how we move our businesses forward. And so, are you just responding to your physical needs when you get tired or once you get sick, or are you being proactive about them? So that's another question. Which areas are you only responding to versus planning for and being proactive and intentional about? And then my last one is about the word support, because support and stability are cornerstones of 4. What does support look like for you? How are you supported, and how are you being supportive and supporting? Because I would say that we need both, right? There is a part of us that thrives and needs to support for sure. But are you leaning too heavily on supporting and telling yourself you're getting everything you need out of being there for others and for doing and being in position to be supportive without getting the support that you need? So what does support look like? Someone asked me the other day, sort of like what it was that I needed, and I paused so long because I know that I need to be supported, but had not really thought about exactly the ways in which I need to be supported. And you can think about it in all 5 of those categories as well. And are you taking advantage of, and are you committing yourself to the supports that or making yourself available to, better yet, the supports that exist for you, the supports that are in place in your life and in your business? Are you defaulting to being the one? And so I ask all of these things as I reflect on 4, as we are approaching 4. And I challenge you to journal about, reflect on, let's have a discussion about those areas of our lives, and about support and stability and the ways in which we are showing up for ourselves and then therefore in our businesses, based on those areas of support and stability. So thank you for reflecting with me. I'm excited for the conversation that could and will ensue. I'm excited for transformations to be had as a result of it. And we will talk soon.